least look to hold on to this M4. I have an AWP in the this does actually leave the window of opportunity open to go for a double AWP buy. Not something that Liquid like to throw in all too much, but they certainly can do it. It's going to be 12-12 though, and let's not forget, Tom, this was an 11-4 half. It was a monstrous performance early on from Liquid, and somehow Big, they've turned the tables, they've started to pull a comeback. The last time we saw these two teams play on this map, it was Big in the position where they had a huge lead and Liquid caught up. There's an interesting stat on your screen right there. 7 wins, 2 losses, and opening duels in the second half of Cash thus far. They've been having their fair share of success early on in these rounds. Maybe for Liquid, the answer might be either trying to take a few more of these fights early on to grab that man advantage, or just hunkering down inside of the bomb sites. You know, playing a much more defensive setup. We're going to see what looks like a flat rush, but Naf, there we go. He's going to step up. 3 kills. Naf is on fire. And he might have done everything here, leaving Smooya in a 1v4. The best of Britain. Not going to be enough as one of the best of Brazil does topple him. Liquid, they finally managed to find a 13th. They keep 4 players alive as well. And that attempted switch up of the pace from Big, well, it gets completely shut down by that man on your screen right now.
Looking ecstatic. Wow. That's all it takes, really, isn't it? Just one round out of absolutely nowhere, and Naf steps up and puts Big back in their place. They equalize the scoreline, only to be sent back to 1 behind. Now both teams, well, in for that reset potential. There's actually more cash saved up over on the Liquid side, and considering what, it was maybe 8 of 9 rounds, or maybe 9 of 10 won by Big, they could now be sent down to absolutely nothing once again. And sometimes it can be the case that if you do bring it close and fall at the final hurdle, it can hurt you quite a bit more. Like, you look at the game earlier with Space Soldiers, such a close first map, the second didn't really look like they were in it at all. So important for Big to bounce right back into this one if they are going to have a chance in this series. And you're still seeing the confidence from Liquid. They've taken a main control once again. Twist actually going to get dinged up through the wall, so he's got to be a little bit careful. May have to relinquish that control and allow Big to have it back. Oh, but he's going to find the opener as well. Lige seems to be struggling a little bit in that mid position. Has gone down quite a few times. I'm wondering how many of those sort of opening battles he has lost.
Well, Twist is left to pick up the pieces once again, but he does manage to do so. It does come in with that trade on a Gobby, so at least you have a dependable man in the form of Twist right now. The rest of Big going to go back to Old Faithful, in towards the B-bomb site they go, traipsing on through. Taco. The heavens, Naf. Star started performance him in the previous round with this AWP. He's got it once again, and he's going to look to batten down the hatches. Misses that first shot. Now they know where he is, but there's only 13 seconds. That bomb's down in the pit. It's on the back of Tabson. They have to pick up the pace, and Smooya's giving them away in the door. Tabson falls to Taco, and that's it. Taco has won them the round. There's no time left. That 1 kill that comes in. And Team Liquid, they're going to be moving on to a 14. Now they've reset the economy a Big to go alongside it. This could be them finding map point here on Cash.
Yeah, 1 kill more crucial than any other. A couple of players now saving, and weapons, it sort of leaves that disjointed economy for Big. They did have a couple of grand saved up, so they could have gone for the save here and still bought in the next round, but they are throwing caution to the wind. It is going to be the force by CZs alongside those 2 saved AKs. On the other side of things, well, Naf has kept that AWP. The rest will be remaining on the rifles, and once again, it's sort of this aggressive peak that seems to be giving so much more space. The run boost is coming back into fashion. I remember a Pro League speaking to Henry about it, where sort of everybody gets used to the silent boost and starts spraying that spot, so you go back to the run boost. Then the run boost starts getting hurt again, so everybody goes back to the silent boost. I'm hoping we're back to the run boost again. I do like watching it. It's quite pretty. But in this scenario, used to put Twist up in a deadly position. They haven't utilized just yet. Nitro this time going to be playing up mid. So maybe that is actually an active change. Just said, it did look like Lige was losing that opening battle quite a few times. So give Nitro the spot. Mid control is going to be challenged for. Tabson being spotted. They've got the man in the vent as well. Taco going to strike. Finds a second as well. Looking for a little bit more, but he has support, and this round is over. Tizian left into a 1 versus 5. So much left to do. The fact is, no matter what here, they have no money going into the next round. This could be it for Big.
Yeah, that's the gut-wrenching call to make, to go for the force in the previous. You know that if you lose it, you're going to have nothing in this round, and that is the case right now. There's the comparison, Smooya versus Naf, but you never thought you'd see that, Tom, in all your years of Counter-Strike. There he is, top of the board for Big right now, and then over on Liquid, it's been fantastic performance from Naf, really bringing the heat in these last few rounds, and also, crucially, Taco. Might not be top of the board, but the frags he's had have been so impactful. You can see that determination now. I mean, it almost slipped through their fingers at one point in time. He's not going to let that happen.
Well, that's the thing, really. If you can have one kill even, that it has such high impact, it wins you a round, it doesn't really matter about the rest. It doesn't matter if you're top fragger in the server. It's all about getting those rounds on the boards. It's like we can look at the fact that at the moment, Smooya is the top fragger in the whole server. The fact is they lose the map. It makes absolutely no difference. They need to bounce back here, and they need to do it with limited weaponry as well. CZ's on the majority, a Deagle for next. They've got lots of utility, the God B way. The fact is, can they utilize it?
Wow, this aggression into main. This could either be their chance or their ultimate demise. Elige boosted on over, Twist is close, and there's the double. Maybe a little bit more as Elige helps him out. It's Tizian and Smooya. 2 versus 5, and they say the CZ is strong. It's got to be impeccable right now. Tizian does manage one, but Nitro's there to trade. And it's all onto one man. Smooya left in a 1v4. Naf is there to shut him down, and Liquid, it took them a while, but they managed to get it done on map number 1. They're going to go 1-0 in this series. A 16-12 victory. And they look fantastic while they do it. You get a little bit worried there towards the very end. But finally they emerge victorious, and now that leaves us with Inferno coming up after the break. There's still so much to play for. There's still a chance for Big to get back into this one, Tom.
Yeah, well, it was the place where they sort of built their name. Obviously, a few other things that came up with that name when they did it, but let's see if they will be able to turn things around. Of course, Liquid now going on to their choice. This is not going to get any easier for Big. Liquid wanting to book themselves a place in that semi-final.
Yeah, but we'll be back with the second map and the desk after a break.
Logitech G, Betway, and PaySafeCard.
Step closer to the cash on cash. Big versus Liquid. And again, the North Americans prevail and Big keep things close. It's an all too familiar tale. They met once already here in Brazil. And now they step out into this stage, into the arena, and it happens all over again. Same team, same map, same score. Rinse, repeat, Big and Liquid, and it does not seem that the Germans could fudge and find that extra inch to take it across the finish line. We do have Maniac and Moses hanging out with myself, Machine. Just your initial thoughts on that one, Maniac. We got the same map, same teams, same result.
Well, I think this 4K from NAF, I don't know, probably saved
the game,
saved Liquid, or completely. Like,
did you see his expression when he did it? He literally saved his team on a stage in 10,000 people.
He was stoic, right?
Yeah, that's NAF for you. And you like to see that of a player like who's that focused in. But, you know, I'll tell you what, I've said a lot of good things about this Liquid team. I've shown a lot of confidence in this Liquid team. Their defense at this event has been atrocious. Yeah. This is the first time, those 4 rounds they won at the end of that half there on the CT side, first time in 3 maps going back to the Mouse Sports Best of 3 we've actually strung 2 defensive rounds together. Damn. And that can't happen. That cannot be a thing. And I mean, no disrespect to Big, but this result, Liquid should be able to beat them in a wider margin. This should have been much easier after the first half they had. And they need to be able to secure their economy earlier on in those CT sides. They cannot keep going into series like this. They're not going to be able to beat the Mouse Sports even with the stand-in, the phases with the stand-in. They need to do better.
They need to improve, and it doesn't stop them from being 1-0 up. We get to speak now, albeit briefly. It looks like Trace has managed to grab a player backstage. I think it may very well be the Brainiac himself from Big.
Brainiac, not to be confused with Maniac, which you'll find on the desk. Either way, we'll cut past all that. Look, I'm standing here with Gob. He's got about 1,000-mile stare on his face, and I can tell he's replaying every round in his mind. Gob, where do we start on this one? Because it did start pretty heavily favored with Liquid, but how did you turn it around?
Yeah, they had a really good start, and yeah, we knew that our T-side is also pretty strong, so we just wanted to win the pistol and didn't lose an anti-eco. That's why we came back a little bit. Then there was a round where it was 12-12, I think. We rushed B, and yeah, enough Fly won the round. Yeah. And I think there was the chance that we could have turned the game, but now my focus is absolutely on Inferno. We will not give up, and yeah, we will see soon.
Well, I mean, how do you transfer to Inferno now? I mean, this crowd, it's been electrifying all day. How are you guys holding up there on the stage?
How we talked a lot about Inferno, about the game that we lost before, so we kind of know what's gonna happen, and I hope we will that our plan, what we made, is good and will work.
That's all you can do. Now, going into this one, man, I think this one's where you got to put it all on the line. This is where you say, hey, you know what, guys? I got a couple younger players here. What do you say to your team at this point?
Yeah, exactly like that. We have nothing to lose here. We are here for the experience as well, and we want to go to the playoffs. Playing on stage is awesome. The crowd is really great, really awesome. The best crowd I think I played ever in front of. So we have nothing to lose, but we really want to win. Like, we want to show that we can beat Team Liquid, but yeah, it will be hard, but I hope it will be good.
There is a chance. There's always a chance when Gob B is at the helm. And with that said, it is almost time to kick off a little bit of Inferno. Alex, would you mind taking us there?
It would be my pleasure. Thank you so much. That's Trace Stunner Sorrenthus, joined by Gob B, the German. I love that. I love that little tidbit of information that he was the first German player to sign a professional CSGO contract, and still he finds new experiences, says it's the best crowd he's ever played against. Well, he's stepping back into it now on Inferno. Any closing thoughts on Cash? We didn't get too much time to talk about it, but I want to make sure that everything is voiced. The fact that he also identifies Maniac with you, that NAF, that one round with that AWP, just swung it all the way back in favor of him.
No, absolutely. I think what was impressing me was that Big was really methodologically taking control of this T hub.
Yes.
you could see they could always take middle, they would always win the trade. Liquid had really no response, and that ace turned the tide completely on the game.
Yeah, you got those quick 4 with the AWP, and the rest was history. We do get to take a look at Smooya's highlight reel as well, because this was a big question in itself. They said they're here for the experience. Well, this kid, first experience, and he's dominating. He's looking very comfortable.
Yeah, he's legit, Alex. He's playing really well in these past 2 games. I think maybe just that first series of this tournament might have been a little bit quiet from him, but after that, he's really grown into it. And I guess if you're a UK player, you don't have a whole lot of chances to get to this kind of a stage, so take the opportunity when you've got him, and he's performing so well.
Not to get hung up on the UK point, but there have been other UK players given opportunities in the past, in North American region, for example, that have yet to do what he's done. So there's definitely some credit to be given. But heading into our next map then, we haven't got long. I just want a quick win condition for Big to take it to a third. What needs to happen here?
I think Smooya, again, is going to be a big factor of it, but I think that T side from Big needs to be strong, because we've seen that they can actually pile on Liquid. We've seen some weak defenses, and if they can get on top of the economy and prevent Liquid from winning, stringing rounds together early on, they can actually just steamroll their whole way through that half.
Matthew, the same question to you. Win conditions, how do we get that third map? How do we get the crowd on their feet?
No, I think Moses covered pretty well. I think, strangely enough, I think whoever has the best CT side is probably going to close it, because so far we've seen T side running over. CT's not able to build any economy.
Which is wild.
That is quite, but that is how it's been this tournament, I feel like. So whoever has been able to build an economy as CT and really block the enemy team might have a shot, I think.
This is the map where Team Liquid only managed 2 defensive rounds against Mousesports. They got blown out on this map entirely, so that they need to be very careful just to continue pulling at that kind of a threat. They're actually, this is quite a scary map for them in that context, when Big has been able to get T rounds and their defense is looking shaky throughout the whole event.
So just to put it into context, the last time these 2 teams played, it was at this tournament on this map. Big got 1 T round. It was 11-1. So you're talking about it's a battle of CT sides. They got double digits on their CT side and still couldn't convert. So also eyes on, just heads up on that T side.
Yeah, and Liquid apparently needs to reach back into whatever team played in that first day against Big, because that needs to happen. They need to have another CT half like that. Quite scary, but I mean, the cool thing is, even when they struggle, as we saw, NAF with the 4K bails them out, they have the stars to make that happen. There's nothing better when you're struggling as a team to have that one player who can get a 3K or a 4K to reignite kind of the momentum and the fire in your direction. And they've got Twist, Elige, NAF. They've got plenty of guys who can do it. Nitro as well.
Yeah. And credit to you, Maniac. You said one player and he's going to shine bright. It was NAF, and he was the one that saved the day for Liquid so far.
I think his evolution as a player is coincidence with Liquid's evolution. I think for me, he's one of the best players in the world at the moment.
My question is just simply a yes or no from now on. Do we get to see Team Liquid going into that semi-final here in this second map, Jason?
Yes, we will see Liquid in the semi-final.
Confidence from the American, no surprises there. Maniac.
Yes, I think so too. That's a 2-0.
Wow, they're expected to see Team Liquid take this one. I'm sure the crowd wouldn't be too upset to see more Brazilians take it to the stage tomorrow. It's time. The war horn sounds. Big versus Team Liquid.
Well, the desk does certainly seem stacked against Big, and you can somewhat understand why. Liquid have been looking good. They're a team that a lot of people have anticipating to take the trophy here, and they're over on that T side. Twist and Nitro, they've got the utility. Everyone else going to go with Armor, and Smooya already rushing down through mid. Can he find anything on the back of this?
Yeah, already this is just looking like a slaughter. Smooya and got B have found themselves a couple. They're going to try and push back in onto the B side, but the fact is, this is already looking bleak for the T side. Taco needs to do something, and he does. He at least finds them that opener and gives them a chance to get the bomb down, but look how quick that flank is coming in. 3 players running down. Nice shot from Taco, though. He's brought it back to a possible scenario. Got that USP in hand, hoping to try and peek back in for a little bit more. He knows that Tabson is coming from that CT spot, but Taco's going to go for the peek. He's found another one. 3rd kill already for the Brazilian. And the crowd is definitely behind him at this point. Smooya looking for more himself, but has to watch out because Elige is in the back of the site, hits the dink, hits another, and the kills as well. A 2 versus 5. What a comeback.
Taco, the incredible. There we go. 3 kills from him. That was fantastic. And then Elige to help him out at the very end. You just love to see it. Liquid turning that round on its head, and pistols, they're so strong. They make all the difference, the pistol rounds, rather. And of course, when we saw Liquid play versus Big on this map, on day 1, they only managed 5 T-side rounds off the top of my head. So if they convert the next few in the anti-ecos, they will be well and truly on their way to breaking that record. Going to be aggression up Banana once more. 3 players here with a 4th rotating round in the form of Tabson. Smoke is down. That's going to go and slow down this offensive from Liquid. Here's Ian. Gonna get dropped by Taco. He's had some time to put his fragging shoes on. Is now top of the charts early on for Liquid. They turn their attention back now towards this A bomb site. Only got B here.
Yeah, this is a unlikely scenario. Of course, it's again one of those positions where Big have gone, okay, we want to make sure we have all the utility ready for our buy round, so we're only going to buy a little bit into this one, but they may have actually got this stack spot on. The T side have switched up their position. The thing is, if Nitro does his probing properly, or at least clears the site, has a little look around, he should find out that there really isn't anybody here, but they've already started to rotate off Tabson, who's going to be back on the site by the time the push comes in. Smoothia will be able to find one at least, and Nex has found another one. They're at least not letting them get away with this for free. However, it is all left onto God B, and he was the man on the other side of the site. A long way to